How I love you, my dear old mama. Hello there. It's Gruby Homebrew Wednesday. Now it is me. I haven't tried to change the colour of my skin to increase my chance of benefits. It's called Fixing a Volkswagen Golf Brew Wednesday. And Tuesday and Monday. Welding. And now bollocks brakes. So I've come in, it's got too dark to carry on. I'm still white this side, black that side. And I'm thirstier than a 5 litre V8. So I thought I'd better try another one of Brewmaster Ben's shadows. Psychedelic. Warning, flash photography. I thought I'd try a Brewmaster Ben Beer Mail Challenger Smash. Mainly because it was close to hand, and I meant to do one last week, but I thought I'd better fit this in. Ooh, good hiss. I haven't tried Challenger. Not getting a little faint bit off there. I did just have a quick look to see if he'd done a video on this one, but I couldn't find one. And my attention span is somewhat shortened at the moment, so we are serving this at room temperature. It's got a good head on it. Now getting the lumpy stuff, so we'll stop there. And she's carbed. Well, it is clear. I think it's the carbonation that's making it look I need this. Nope. Oh, I can taste it now. Better than the Fuggles and East Kent Goldings. Like sort of fruity bitterness. A bit of shadow there. Ooh. Let's turn the auxiliary lighting on. Should have chilled it down a little bit, I think. But this wasn't pre-planned. In fact, none of this Homebrew Wednesday is pre-planned. Mind you, they're not normally anyway, I just waffle on. But, it appears I've been a bit of a lucky bar steward this week. With a mail. Cheers, taxi, for pulling my name out of your hat. And I've got some US05 yeasties travelling back from Italy to the UK. I told him I'd post him while he was in the UK, saving himself a few euros anyway. Musical carbonation. And it appears I've just had a double bubble, and I've scored Cheshire Homebrew's correct final gravity of his Sierra Nevada Pale Ale clone. So I think I've got a couple of bottles that will wing my way. So cheers to Cheshire Homebrew. And cheers to Ben for the beer. Yeah, definitely a tinge too warm. But I don't care. It's wet. Ooh. Just like a good woman should be. Oh yeah. Well, so cheers to my competitions I've won. Cheers to all my subscribers. I think it's 219 now. So thanks for subscribing. I must apologise for the low value content in brewing, but at the minute it's still a wee bit too warm. to try any successful batch brewing. That and the fact I just haven't had any time. I'm still tied down doing all my other home related projects and work related projects, and now, just to throw a spanner in the works, literally, car related projects. Siemens, I have a good collection of cars, but only one of mine is under English requirement roadworthy until next Tuesday, which is MOT testing day for roadworthiness, an annual thing once a car is 3 years old, and it needed a little bit of work, so I was welding it up, making panels for the sill, and it's an old car, I don't want to throw a lot of money at it, so I made most of the sill myself rather than buy a whole panel and cut and shut that in, and painted her up. Undersealed it today, and I thought, well, there's a little bit of a problem with the brakes, and it turned out to be a bigger problem with the brakes because the caliper was seized, but luckily I've got a few bits and pieces, so I think I've managed to wheedle my way through it. So it's more of a VW fix day than a homebrew day, but I will chuck the hop update in on the end of this because I'm filming this Tuesday night and it's too dark to film outside now because obviously my time has been taken up underneath a car getting dirty. So I'll chuck that on the end of this vid for those that want to watch. So weather does seem to be changing slightly, so one of those sort of ironic occasions where you actually wish it would be a little bit cooler, but mainly so I can just chuck a few beers in. But I've got a few of my old stuff left, and some of my brew firms still, but a couple of other ones now have been in the bottle. They're starting to get a bit of an aftertaste. Not a pleasant one. Can't really sort of describe it, but it makes you struggle to finish the beer, unless you like something that tastes like a punk IPA or something. But they are quite, I don't know what to describe it as, but the Dunkel kit I done back at Christmas, which I think was partly due to the old hops and grains, else that would have been a pucker brew. But age is against it now, and the chocolate stout is getting a bit sort of vinegary. Now it's been sitting so long in this hot weather, it's not done it any favours. It still looks good, still pours fine, but it's just, you know, you get a few mouthfuls down the glass and you start to note the taste. And I think, well, definitely, I mean, I would do it again if I wanted to. I mean, I've done it now, so it's sort of, you know, marked on the scorecard, but I certainly wouldn't put as much chocolate in next time round if I was to do it again. I'd still like to do the coffee stout. I was originally going to split that batch, but because it was just such a bugger to ferment out, and it went way over time for a normal kit brew, where I think that was, you know, temperatures in the house were just too low for an ale temp. And I didn't have the I bought earlier part of this year one of the 4, I think it's the TE4 Electrum heater plate, which will do 4 demi-johns or one 33 litre, or up to a 33 litre fermenter, which I did use it on one brew. I can't remember which one now, but it seemed to work. But whether the heat permeates all the way up, I don't know. I didn't do any temperature testing inside the actual wall. But I did have my temperature controllers turn up, but they're not quite what I was expecting, because I wanted the dual output ones. It turns out that the dual output ones that I was looking at, that I thought were like STC 1000s, aren't. The actual secondary output is for an auxiliary circuit, so basically it's 2 contacts, so they still switch at the same time, so they still wouldn't control hot and cold off of one unit. So that means I've got to use both units, one programmed to control the upper temperature range with the fridge, and the lower temperature range has got to be controlled with some form of heating off the other little unit. So I'm in discussion with said seller, as the item was not as described, irrespective of the contact situation. He did show dual outputs on his picture and state that they would do hot and cold, and they are the same model as I bought earlier last year, wherever it is, says he. Sun's unit, there it is. They came exactly the same as that, with two contacts, which is just your live in and you switch your load out. The other ones have got a third one for a secondary contact. Now whether I could have wired that secondary one up to another unit to activate or not, I don't know. It doesn't really matter because you can use two individually. Just it would have been nice to have one control unit doing both. But I had two turn up, but only one came with instructions, the other one didn't, and I think I've lost the one for this, but exactly the same unit. They're the Will High WH7016C, which can be used for either. You set it there in the menu to as a heating thermostat or a cooling thermostat. You have to tell it what you want it to do, program the limit, and fit and forget sort of thing. So I'm waiting to see, because they have offered me a discount. Another irony of it was a best offer. I think I said I paid £22.40 for the pair, including free postage and packing. The guy said if I send them back at my cost, they would only refund me £20 because it cost them £2.40 to post them. So I enlightened them to the fact that if you sell something with free postage, you have to refund the full amount, not less the postage. If you state free postage, it's free postage. You can't pull out of it on the refund. And I said with regards to a discount, I'm now going to have to use two to do the job of one. So I will await to see what happens there. I've opened an eBay case on it. If not really bothered. I mean, they'll still do the same job. It just would have been nice to have. I didn't actually. Well, I mean, if it had been an STC 1000, I would have only ordered the one. But I ordered a pair in case I can use it for my other fermentation chamber job, which I was going to do with a household thermostat, just purely in the winter as a heating side of it. So obviously temperature drop's not a problem. Obviously these, if I have this wired into a fridge to keep it to 20 degrees at night when the ambient temperature drops down to 16, the controller's not going to switch on a heater to keep it floating between the 20 at the top and say 18 at the bottom range, or 21, which the STC 1000 would do both on one unit. But we've got two, we can still do the same job. Just means I've got a source a different box to obviously house two units, either that way or that way. Probably got something kicking about somewhere. I can fabricate a little box and some glands and do a switch circuit, but I didn't want to do I might still get one of the STC 1000s. They're only about £1 more than they were. It's been my only homebrew related item apart from Mr. Harry Brew 69. I did do an order with the said chap and he came through as always. I had a little bag turn up with some bits and pieces. I only needed some hops just to top up my stock level, and I ordered, ironically, Cascade. I thought this was a Cascade. No. Anyway, I got some Cascade pellet hops 2 packs of East Kent Goldings and the Hercules leaf hops, which are high alpha acid. I think you've labelled them up wrong actually, Harry, because you've got the beta acid levels, not the alpha acids. And a pack of flake barley. I've chucked them back in the freezer. I've just got the flake barley here to go in my box. And so cheers, Harry, for expediting an expedient expedition of grains. That's more easy than I've ever had in my life. Does the job, Ben. It does the job. It's alright, mate. Just thinking what you could use Challenger for. There is a sort of bitter note for it, but it's also fruity. Wouldn't say grapefruit, but it's not quite as pungent as the American grapefruity flavoured hops. But it does give you a fruity flavour. I can't think which one, not being a big fruity. It does the job, it hits the spot. But yeah, unfortunately that's it. We've got no more brews. We sold some brewing equipment on the old eBay, so that funded the controllers. I got rid of those demijohns which were picked up last week. I mentioned them. I sold a couple of pressure barrels, and I think I've got the jam pans on this week to try and get them out of the way. And I think that's it. I have got a another piece of equipment which I will be sending in a beer mail to Beer Lover 1983 when I get some beers to send you, chap. At the moment the old stocks are a bit low, unless you like Hausenbrau commercial gem pills, and a bottle of all grain, because that's pretty much all I've got of my own stuff now. Well, obviously the Hausenbrau's not mine, but yeah, I'm a bit getting low on stock. Not low by some people's standards, but low enough. I haven't got a lot of range. Also, cheers, yes, Welsh Brewer. Your beer mail turned up today, intact this time. So cheers for that. I presume the Rosemary Ale is the one without the label, as the other ones are labelled. But cheers for that, mate. I was only expecting the one, but yeah, big thanks for that. The 4 beers there, so I shall be doing a sipit on those as soon as. I'll probably get Ben's other one done on next week's Homebrew Wednesday, and then I'll move on to yours. They were obviously a little bit shook up during their journey, so I'll leave them to settle down and enjoy those with you soon. But yeah, I can't really say much more to you guys. I know a few of you have got some projects on, building things and discovering. I think Brewdad 75 has just popped his cherry on the all grain and has moved rapidly into his second one. You might want to get that. It's cheaper. I think it's Homebrew Shop sell this with the disc. I like, rather than these downloads, I like to have a piece of hardware for the software. So when everything goes pear-shaped, you've still got this, and not this on a hard drive that's then foobarred. And it's cheaper than downloading it off of Bearsmith, or it was at the time I bought that. But if you put in your volumes for your pot, your mash tun and everything, it will work out everything you need to know. There are other online calculators. I think Jim's Beer Kit's website has some. There are also some free beer related softwares for anyone, called Brew Target, iBrew. I can't remember what the other one is. They're all on my other computer over there. But yeah, so good luck to everyone that's doing various projects. I think Cheshire Homebrew is going to have a crack at making himself a brew kettle out of a plastic barrel. I have got, well, I don't need to make one, but I have got one of these Earlex paint steamer things, which came in a job lot of bits and pieces I bought from an auction, but it was minus the screw cap, which is rather essential for pressurising it to make steam. But it has, obviously, they are designed for constant use, where kettles are obviously designed to do a 5-minute heat and then turn off. Obviously I'd have to butcher that to take the element out, but it's no good to me either way. So if anyone needs I don't know what they are, high tolerance kettle element, I don't know what it is, 2.5, 3.3 kilowatt. I've got one sitting in an Earlex, and there's not a lot of limescale build up on it, so I don't think it's had a lot of use. If anyone needs a kettle element, if it will come out in one piece, I'm not adverse to chopping it up. I don't need to make one myself, because obviously I've got 2 Berco boilers that do the same job. So if anyone needs a kettle element, let me know. If it'll unscrew and come out in that. I've also still got that metal ring. Have a look at the thread, it's quite a fine thread. If anyone's got one of the plastic ones that you screw up and they crack, there's one of these kicking about here. And that's it, guys. I'm going to blow and let you all continue watching the US SJ pour experiment, which is still ongoing. Seems obviously it was a much bigger country with many more homebrewers and many more beers to sample. Lucky blighters, hey? Oh. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy Ben's beer, and I'll let you go and watch the SJ pour reviews and Homebrew Wednesdays.
Well, as we end this week's Homebrew Wednesday with the hop update, we've got loads of new little vines still growing out of here. It seems to be thickening up more than growing. We're still only at the top of the post. But, we have had some wet weather recently, which has helped them a little bit. But we are getting some side shoots now starting to grow, and the other one is marching away quite merrily, and the one there, I don't know where that's disappeared to now. That's growing off back down. Some bindweed as well. We've got lots of new side shoots coming off, which hopefully will provide a crop within the next 2 months before it gets too late. If not, at least they've got a year to settle in. Right, let's go and have a look at the potted ones. They're still growing up and beyond. There's more side binds, side shoots coming off. One's grown through the barbed wire on the fence. This one's gone across and then going up this cane. And the other one's doing the same as well, looking for somewhere to keep climbing. We have got a little bit of yeah, I can't see it, some little pesties, very little caterpillar of some type, green flies, something there. There's a culprit. Just squidged him. Little beggars keep eating my cabbages as well. But there we go, guys. I have managed to acquire some buckets that had some tarmac in them. So I'm going to clean them out, punch a few holes in the bottom, see if we can lift these out with the root ball, and put a bit more peat around them and put them in some bigger pots. Don't think there's a lot to be gained transferring that one, because the pots I've got ain't much bigger than that one. But that's it. I'm going to have another beer. Catch you next week, guys.